Okay, hey, this is Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. It's still the 28th, and like I told you, I had to do some fencing, and when it gets warm like this, our electric fences that are on the inside, we put them up a foot and out a foot from the woven wire fence. That's how we do it. The woven wire is pretty inexpensive. Panels are pretty expensive. Around here, I think they're $24 a piece. So I can get a roll, 330 feet of woven wire, 39 inches high, for around 150 bucks. So, but it's a little harder to put up, but it looks better too, and it lasts. But anyway, the point that I wanted to make now is to kind of show this area off. This is one of my lower pig fields. Get my hand out of the way. And if you go back in the archives, there's a video called Hog Heaven. And when we first fenced this in, nothing had been on here. No animals had been on here. A few cows here and there. But even then, they didn't like it because, as you see, there's a lot of water on this field. And this is the field that you never come on with anything heavier than a wheelbarrow, or you'll sink out of sight. I'm told that there's a full-size 4020 John Deere that's under the ground here that came on and sunk in. I don't know how true that is, but I think we're on our third year of putting the pigs on here. And if you look at it, it depends how you look at it. If you look at the before pictures, it was so thick a person could barely walk through here, and you'd never know if you were going to step into a quicksand puddle, that would take you down. And so, it wasn't suitable for cattle, not the way we do it. And so it became, we thought about how can we put pigs on it, and so we went ahead and fenced it, put the electric on the inside, and then put pigs on it. And then as time has gone by, what they have done is they've found where the springs come out. Here's one right here. See that big round area? There's a spring that comes out there. And then there is 3 of them over there. 1, 2, 3. I don't know how well you can see them, but if you're over there and you're looking straight down on them, you can see them. And they all kind of pool up, and then they come around this way. And then they've run into this pond. And this pond here just used to be a seasonal pond that we would see in the spring when the melt happened. Because what was happening is all of this water was just piling up in this area and freezing. So then when the melt came, the pond would fill up, but then it would be gone. Middle of summer it would be gone. Well, now that these channels are opened up, we have a pretty good flow of these natural springs into that pond, and it stays full. But it's changing things because all this bulrush stuff that's in here, a lot of them, we noticed today when we were checking the fence, have died. And that's not necessarily bad. We'll be able to get them pulled out and piled up and taken care of somehow. And it's going to open up way more of the field and dry it out so that we can actually get in there and do a kind of a rudimentary plowing and get it seeded into something that we want, or just seed it into grasses. Or do nothing, and the grasses will come up, along with everything else will come up like crazy. And this pond now is here to stay, and I suppose if we wanted to hold more, we could make it a little deeper. Not sure about that, but it flows out down there, and then the farmers that were here before, the way the story goes is they had prisoners of war here during World War II, and they dug by hand a ditch that went out to the river. And it was an attempt to drain this field down so they could utilize it, because this is like 6 or 8 acres that really can't do much with. But you know, with a heritage breed of pig, we can. I can tell you, if we had white pigs up here, they would stay right up there, and they would be waiting at the fence for us to bring them hog chow, and they won't eat anything else. These guys, you can see, they have dug every inch of this up and eaten every blade of grass off of it, and they've done well on it. They've grown really well on it, and they've provided us with this pond that the kids are out on today skating. It's really nice. I would be, but I don't have skates that fit me anymore. Got to get some. And then a lot of this deadfall I'm taking and piling up, and we're having a campfire at the same time. So it's working out really good. Now what I might do, where the ditch was that went to the river that took water off this land, there's another pond down there. I'm going to re-accomplish the ditch and go straight into that one, because what I want to do with these animals is I want to delete a little bit of hayfield but make more habitat for them. Because when I build habitat for them, what I've noticed is I'm actually making habitat for the wildlife to come on. You know, we have the 39-inch woven wire around this. The deer don't care. They jump right over it, and they come in there with them. There's open ground. There's soft or supple grasses in here, and the deer come in and eat. And the deer will be, they're not threatened by pigs. Deer don't like cows, that's for sure. Deer won't come on if we have cows down in the field. They just will not come on. They don't like cows. I don't know if the cows feel the same, but pigs don't even seem to acknowledge deer. They just don't even look at them. Same thing with the geese and the ducks. They don't even acknowledge them. And I know that the battle cry out there from the Department of Natural Resources is that pigs will destroy wildlife and all. That's not true. It's not. They have a place to. They play a part in the ecosystem, as you can see. Now here, it takes me a little doing to manage it so it doesn't get out of control. You know, I got 18 sows. They're each going to have, you know, 10 babies. We'll pull the sows off, maybe feed the babies out here. I don't know yet. Depends. I'm not going to overdo it. And if I ever thought that I was overdoing it, then I would do something about that. And all that really is if I start to see that the organic material in this field is deleted to the point or depleted to the point where it's destroying the bacterial base in the soil or the microbial life in the soil, then I would pull them off. And I tell you what, it would bounce back so fast you wouldn't believe it, because they are constantly putting down bacteria when they manure. And that bacteria draws bacteria out of the air. So it becomes a really diverse hotbed of bacteria that can break down the organic material that's been deposited in the soil here over the years, because nothing's happened here. This has not been farmed in a long, long time, because it's so wet. They haven't farmed this since they came on it with mules. That there's just a ton of wealth in this soil as far as growing forages. So I'm pretty encouraged with this. If you looked at it before, you really couldn't even see across here. They've done this very nicely. Most of the cedars here they've killed because they eat the bark from around them. But it's okay, I knew they would. I got plenty of cedars, so I didn't need them here. We will cut these out and we'll use these cedars for something, whether we use them for fence posts or firewood or something. It's not like they're going to go to waste. And then eventually the stumps will be rotten enough where we can get them pulled out. This area up in here, you can see, is fairly dry. And this is where I'm going to put their housing. I have a half pipe that I'm going to set in here on railroad ties, and it'll provide housing for, 15, 18 sows. In the summertime, they need shade more than anything. Wintertime, they sleep. You can tell they just sleep out up here. They don't really require anything, so long as the wind's not directly on them. This field has worked out really good because there's a break here. Right in here, there's not much wind, so I can see this area right in here, right in this corner. You know, the stumps will stay. They'll just become part of the area here. Ooh, I'm over 10. But I will put in the half pipe to provide them with some shade. Okay, I'm over. Mark from Baker's Green Acres. Anyone can farm.